Hello, welcome all. And as you can see or not see, this is another audio edition of the Weekend Common Constitutionalist podcast. Don't ask. I'm not even going to bother. But today's podcast is going to be about, we'll just say one topic. One really fun topic. Let's not read the bill. Let's just pass it. And that's what we'll be discussing today on the Common Constitutionalist.
You are listening to the Common Constitutionalist, broadcasting from an undisclosed location, free from the prying eyes of establishment black helicopters.
All right, welcome back. The Omnibus spending bill. I guess they have to call it that instead of using its proper name, the all-you-can-eat crap sandwich bill. Or maybe they could have gotten a little more creative and used the old Army slogan, be all that you can be. Something like, spend all that you can spend, unless it's for a border wall or increased security, then tough luck for you. And the government, doesn't the government love acronyms? Everything in the government's an acronym, particularly the military. And nobody likes Omnibus. So instead of Omnibus, why don't they use something like the Creative Revenue Appropriations Proposal, or its acronym, CRAP. Yeah, that's it. The fact is that Congress and the Senate are just criminals. They're thieves of the grandest scale. They steal our tax dollars and for all intents and purposes at gunpoint and give it away as they see fit, explaining that it is not theft because they're using it for the good of society. Don't you freaking know? So that's like a bunch of crooks stealing your car to use it as a getaway vehicle for a bank robbery, but for a bank robbery. But it's all right because once they're in the clear, they promise to donate your car to charity, for women and orphans or some freaking thing. It's so insane. And remember the big Trump tax cut bill? Remember that? Well, this crap sandwich, basically, with all the spending and everything, has effectively negated the grand tax cut bill. It's negated it practically, and from a morale standpoint, it sure as heck has negated it, because no one's going to be thinking about the tax cut. They're just going to be thinking about profligate spending again. So congratulations to our great Republican majority. You did it to us again. And I'm not letting the president off the hook. His lame excuse is that he'll never vote for a bill like this again until next time. But the interesting thing is that there may not ever be a next time, not for him. And you know what else there may not be another next time for? You guessed it, a border wall. Now, if he couldn't get the paltry billions, relatively speaking, tucked into this pig, how's he ever going to get it passed? How's he ever going to get past anyone? No chance. It'll be more than just a minor miracle if we ever get a dime's worth of spending on the border wall. It just isn't going to happen. The only way they can get even a couple of 20, 30 feet of spending or a border wall is just to push all the competitors' border walls together, and there you go. That's as much as we're ever going to get, apparently. And both parties do this. They make excuses for their votes. Although Democrats, their voters will vote for any profligate spender. Leftist politicians don't need to explain this kind of stuff to their base. All they need to do is explain that Planned Parenthood's going to be fully funded and this and that's going to be fully funded and all the leftist programs are going to be fully funded and we're not going to have any money for the border wall, neener. And you kidding me? It'll be landslides left and right for the Democrats. The crap-eating grin from Chuck Schumer was just, it pretty much tells it all, doesn't it? But the Republicans, the Republicans, I don't even know what to call these guys anymore. But these guys are the great excuse makers. They're the ones that have to explain why they voted for this piece of blank. And the go-to excuse was, and will always be that it's just that important to rebuild the military. And of course they have to throw in the military that Obama gutted for the last 8 years. And because that he gutted the last 8 years, we just have to throw money at it. That will fix it, just like it fixes every freaking government program. If you just throw money at a problem, that'll fix it. Yeah, sure. But this is all supposed to make it okay. They dress up this pig by saying, well, you're going to get this or that, and we had to vote for it because of this, and we had to compromise. Who are the only ones that never compromise? Pelosi and Schumer, particularly Schumer. This guy never compromises because he never has to. I've said before, and I'll say it again, the leader of the Senate is and will always be, as long as he's there, is Chuck Schumer. It doesn't make any difference what lame blank Republican politician is either the Speaker of the House or the leader of the Senate Majority Leader. It doesn't matter, because the Democrats are in charge of the government, period. No question about it. And after this, there can be no debate over that. But the excuses are all supposed to make it okay. So I guess we should at least thank the Republicans that voted no, and I guess there were like 23 in all, including Bob Corker, Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, Mike Lee, Ben Sass, Tom Cotton, and that great fiscal conservative Jeff Flake. Yes, indeedy. Yes, that great fiscal hawk Jeff Flake voted no for the omnibus spending bill too. Gee, I wonder why he did that. Let's see. Let's think about it. Oh, that's right. He's thinking of running for president. Gee, what a shocker. So on that note, I'm going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to The Common Constitutionalist. Let the truth be known.
All right, welcome back to the second and probably the final segment. I've got a busy weekend here, and I'm trying to fit everything in, and I'm trying to get this thing in and do the best I can do with this and the amount of time I've got. So this is going to be a short segment. Some will say, "Hooray for that!" Me droning on for 25 or 30 minutes is too much for any man to handle, and so I get that. So this is probably going to go no more than maybe 10 to 12, 15 minutes at the most. We'll see, but I don't know. So anyway, we're talking about the omnibus crap sandwich spending bill, and what a travesty it is for Republicans to have promised for all these years that Obama was in office to cut spending, to cut government, to do all this other stuff, and then they turn around and pass this pig in a poke, and then Trump turns around, makes the excuse, and I'll get to that in just a minute, that he's going to sign it, and then he'll never sign anything like this again. And again, he'll never sign it. He may know this already, that they probably won't ever put another omnibus bill up in his entire the rest of his presidency. So this would probably be it anyway. But at any rate, so it's this bill. It's 2,232 pages long. Imagine how long it took for these people to write all this crap. How many man hours it took these bureaucratic hacks that work in lockstep with the Democrats, how long it took them to do this, and I will unconditionally guarantee you that this sucker was put on ice and it's been on a shelf collecting dust for who knows how many years, just a wish list for Democrats spending, and the tally just kept going up. It maybe have started at several hundred billion, have several $100 billion, and then they just add to it and they pull it out of the lockbox and they put some more crap in it and they put it away, waiting for the opportune time to pull out this crap sandwich and thrust it into the Senate and the House and get it passed. 2,232 pages, $1.3 trillion, and 2 entire days to pour over it. It's ridiculous, and frankly, anyone who voted for this for whatever reason, I don't even care, should be tossed out on their keister. Ha! And whatever happened to, you gotta read the bill? How you gonna read the bill? Remember John Conyers? Well, rest assured, unconditionally, no one person knows all what's in this bill. There's not a chance in crap. And on Capitol Hill, and it turns out in the White House, no one seems to give a crap either. So we all know, and it's not worth wasting time blaming the Democrats for this, because the Democrats are who they always are, okay? They're spenders. They're big spenders. They're tax and spenders. We've always known that. They're progressives. They're communists. They're whatever, socialists, collectivists, however way you want to describe these people. We already know who they are. They don't lie to us because they don't have to. They know their base loves them for it, and that's the way it is. But it's the Republicans. This is why we keep bringing up and keep blaming Republicans for this crap, because they when they're out of power, they talk a good game and a big game, and then we give them everything that they wanted, and they do this kind of crap. And so, not letting so we've already been through the Republicans, but for the president to sign this thing, bad juju, man. I don't know what else to say it. This was a wrong-ola move there, Mr. President. Wrong-o. For whatever reason. So he holds a press conference, President Trump, and he's saying, my highest duty is to... yeah, really? What am I going through, puberty? My highest duty. My highest duty is to keep America safe. Nothing more important. That's terrific. Sounds great. For the last 8 years, and here we go, here's the excuse. For the last 8 years, deep defense cuts have undermined our national security. My highest duty is to keep America safe. Therefore, as a matter of national security, I have signed this omnibus budget bill. There are a lot of things that I'm unhappy about in this bill. There are a lot of things that we shouldn't have had in this bill, but we were, in a sense, forced. If we wanted to rebuild our military, we were forced to have. I will never sign a bill like this again. Period. And unquote, shall we say. And the rumor is, of course, that the Secretary of Defense, James Mattis, reportedly pressured Trump not to veto the bill Friday morning. Now, we also know that speaking of crap sandwiches, that this is also a crap sandwich, because, as we've seen, nobody pressures Trump into doing anything that he doesn't already want to do. Period. If he changed his mind, he changed his mind. Nobody talked him into it. Nobody pressured him into it. That's crapola. So as far as the military spending here, yes, our men and women in the military get a pay raise, and that's terrific. They deserve it. No doubt about it. But even still, why is the military branch of our government so bloody sacrosanct, particularly for Republicans, for us on the right? The military spending is sacrosanct, and there will never be enough military spending for your average Republican, and I don't understand it for the life of me. I'm former military. There is no bigger booster than me, but I also know that that this is just another government agency. But all any Republican has to say is we need to spend money on the military, give some freaking excuse, and they never give any thought or any scrutiny as to what it's being spent on. Instead, we're all just supposed to be thrilled about throwing money at the Department of Defense. Well, it never works anywhere else. Why out of all the government departments throughout the entire federal government do we think that somehow the DOD is different? Somehow the Department of Defense is going to spend all these hundreds of billions of dollars thoughtfully and frugally. It's not going to happen. The Department of Defense is just another gigantic agency that has little accountability for its spending. It's no different from the EPA or the HHS or HUD or IRS or whatever, whoever. Just name a department or an agency, and there'll be massive amounts, as proven year after year, decade after decade. There's massive amounts in every single one of these departments. Waste, fraud, and abuse. And the DOD shouldn't be treated any other. But no, of course not. The DOD for the Republicans is sacrosanct. You can't say anything bad about it. And no matter how much money we throw at it, it's never enough. They'll always need more. And it's for a good cause. And that's just crap. I would venture to say that the Department of Defense, if it was run properly, more like a business with a bottom line and a real budget, could probably get by with maybe 50 to 60% of its current budget, and that would be Jim freaking dandy. So that's about all I've got, because this is a tiresome topic, as most political topics are. I mean, I enjoy talking about it, but geez, sometimes it's just so daggum frustrating. It's unbelievable. We conservatives, we actual fiscal conservatives, sit by and watch all this crap happen to us, and there's not a damn thing we can do about it. It's so freaking frustrating, I've always loved to say, Rush has said this, and Mark said this, and lots of conservatives have said that there are more conservatives out there than liberals. Well, there may be, but boy, I'll tell you, we've been the silent majority for a long time, if that's the case, and we've got zero clout with anybody, it seems. And I'm just sick and tired of it, and I can't see it. There's really no way to get a handle on it except for one, and that's the Article 5 Convention of States, to take the power back, and that's the only shot that we've got. Other than that, the politicians will never shrink government. They'll never shrink spending. The budgets will always increase, as they do every year, no matter what people say, and it's just that's the way it's going to be. So that's all I've got on this frickin' fun topic. This is Brent Smith, the Common Constitutionalist. Thank you for listening. Have a blessed balance of the weekend, and I am out. See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Common Constitutionalist Weekly Podcast.